Hello, everybody. World Small Talk, and with me is the amazing Brooke Barsell, the Duchess of Nebraska, and Leon Bukowski, the international spy.
Must be a secret, that bit.
Oh shit! Sorry, you keep telling me you've signed that secrecy act like it's okay. So I'm sure we've all met.
What?
I just wanted to know if he was really a spy. That's cool if you are. You actually probably can't tell. Never mind.
I really am a spy, but I can't talk about it. Because I haven't declared it for tax, you see. As far as the taxman's concerned, I work in a shop.
Just about looking at the comments, we've got one from Brooke.
Yeah, that's me.
Which is always good.
Glad you're watching.
And Ray, hello, Ray. Ray is saying that he has shared the stream. Thank you very much for that. So for new viewers of Big Will Small Talk, this is basically comedians in lockdown spread across the world. And when I first found Leon in an online open mic night in South Wales, he was residing in Malaysia, but he has now come back to the UK, and Brooke is in Omaha in Nebraska. Big world. So, Brooke, how is it going in Omaha?
We had a blizzard the other day. We had a blizzard. Got kind of cold, but you know they plowed it all away. It's fine.
Wow. We here it's cold, but it's not cold enough for snow down. There are pictures of snow in the UK. Leon, you're much more. You've got snow.
Yeah, I got loads of snow. Oh, we did have. It's gone for now, but it'll be back tomorrow.
So, did your little girl get to go out and play?
Yeah, we did snowman, all the rest. Snowman, snowball fights, you name it, we did it. We were quite snowy. This bit's quite snowy. We're quite high up in Cheshire.
So by blizzard, Brooke, do you mean like proper lockdown snow plows everything?
Yeah. I don't know exactly how many inches. I think somewhere between 6 and 9. That's my guess. But then it was the wind. The wind is what made it the blizzard. So like the snow came and then the wind's like. And so like it wasn't good to drive. They canceled school, which was a good thing because I told 2 schools I was going to work there, and I'm the only one of me.
Talk about multitasking. In 2 schools. Right, we've got our 4th team member joining us as well. We've got Alex in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Well, so Alex, have you had snow?
Yes, we have had snow here. We had a couple days of snow actually stuck to the ground, which it's like we should have had more snow. It's always a little weird to be this north on the planet and only get snow this much in January. So when you see it, you're like, oh, yes, I forgot. It is winter. This is how it's supposed to go.
Where are you located?
And be like, oh, okay. That's how it used to be. It used to snow in January.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of a white Christmas, like I think in my lifetime I've had 2 or 3 white Christmases, and I'm like 39. Like, is it global warming, or do people just make up the fact that it's snow at Christmas because it happened once?
We did actually.
They painted the Christmas cards.
That did happen.
I heard what happens is not as many people are believing in Santa Claus. So like the magic that was keeping all the cold at the North Pole like isn't as strong now, and so like it's kind of like trickling out.
That sounds like something Trump would try and explain to people.
Bigly.
I know you have to understand is that people don't believe anymore
in the magic of the North Pole.
Send money now. www.trumpetslinger.com.
People don't believe in them. That's what I'm hearing. They say they don't believe.
I Chris in the comments.
So everybody's fit and well. I'm probably going to say let's go on with the show. We've got a couple of messages coming up. We've got Trish Sullivan watching, who is going to be our guest in 2 weeks' time. She's a comedian in Chicago. Ray saying hello to myself and to Leon and Brooke, and then obviously to Alex, never missing you out. And Claire Allen has said they only had 2 days of snow in Scotland, and everyone just assumes that Scotland always has the snow. We just assume they always have it.
Rain washes out.
We have this. There's like 2 millimeters of snow in London. The whole world stops, and everyone in Scotland's like, it's been snowing for fucking weeks. Like, no one cares. So, have we all got our question buckets, jars, hats, balloons? What I'm using this week?
Absolutely.
I have my pink bag.
One day your daughter's going to watch through all these videos and be like, Dad, do everything I own for this show.
She's my prop. She's my prop mistress. She's got all my props.
Got
So who wants to go first? Alex, do you want to pull up in first?
I have a question. How did we start talking about snow? Who's leaving their house? Who's seen me outside?
Who knows if it isn't even snowing outside?
I know I'm always
he
late,
was a
so
little
I didn't have the
early.
context. But I wouldn't be surprised if I'm actually kidnapped and this is just an amalgamation of my home, and they just like, let's just recreate the environment he's used to. And outside of my window is actually some warehouse, and I got kidnapped long ago. And it's like, only way I would know is to go outside, but I ain't doing that.
This could just be the Matrix, and they're all just on holiday. They've just said, look, we worked really hard. Look, let's just shut all the bars because it's too complicated. We'll just make it a simple game for a minute. We'll just say everyone stays in the house. There you go, simple.
Yeah, right. People will put masks on. We won't have to render the bottom half of their face. We gotta like come up with all these faces.
Don't draw faces.
Just give me different eye colors. That's all I need.
Yeah. Lips are hard. There we go.
Teeth. Everybody got different teeth. I don't like that.
It's a residential version. It's a residential version of the Doctor Who episode where everyone's trapped in a trap. No one knows why.
Yeah, all my windows are just HD TV screens of what the outside looked like last year.
Yeah.
Okay, real
None of this is real. This is all just a figment of our own imagination.
Yeah, right. I made all y'all up.
This is gone. Nothing.
It'd be worrying if this was a figment of your imagination. You're imagining a quite a serious plague, but quite just like a really annoying plague as well. Serious but annoying plague.
Let's hear a question, and there's more questions.
I'm really impressed with how I decorated your room. I
Right?
dig it. I like the color palette. It's very calming to me. I'm very proud of myself. Here we go.
That does look. If you go into that room, it does look like you just could not be angry in there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place for sure.
I'm angry. Oh, not really. Forget it.
All right. First question. Have you ever experienced anything unexplainable? Ever seen a ghost?
To go first.
Yes.
You see a ghost?
I a couple of years ago, I was traveling from Exeter to my house with my brother in the car. We were going up the M5 and saw a shooting star, but it didn't go across the sky. It just went down the line as though afterwards and we were just both driving along, just listening to the radio, and then we were like, "Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that?" It was. I haven't been drinking. Have you been drinking? No.
You should have told me before I got in the car.
You should have said, like, you should have stopped at
Am I
the shop.
Oh no.
And then, but where I am in Devon, there is so many stars. Like when it's a clear night, it is so busy. And there are, I saw 3, and they weren't drones. They were too far away to be drones, but they were 3 and they had perfect distance in between them, and they were all just traveling along and stuff like that. So all of my stuff has been star based, no ghosts.
Yeah, right. Check and see if any of your animals are missing. Damn. Moving around. I got one. It was about 4 years ago. Half of my country decided that the leader of the free world should be a reality TV star.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
I still trying to figure out how to explain that. And that some like billionaire would be fighting for the middle class and working class. I just didn't know how they got fooled.
I think it's the Matrix again. They made a mistake. They were trying to put him as a game show host, and then they put him in president by mistake, and they went, "Oops, oops."
Who put those two buttons together?
Who did that? Steve? Was that you, Steve?
You're a wild.
No more jobs for you, Steve.
Still trying to figure that out.
Brooke or Leon, have you seen anything unexplainable?
It's hard to know if I saw it or if it was my imagination or if it was like spiritual, like like, okay, there's one time I was on the phone with a friend, right? And I was telling her that sometimes I just know things and I don't know why, right? Like I'll just know something. And she's like, okay, fine. Tell me what's in my hand.
Phone.
And I'm like, that would have been funny. But I wasn't a comedian really yet. I mean, kind of. But I was like, it's either water or a soda. One of the two. I don't know. Like, oh my gosh, she's like freaked out. She's like, I have water in a soda bottle.
Wow. Whoa.
I know.
That's why I used to call her Claire.
We were all like,
her name was Claire.
Ah!
Claire. I don't know about unexplained.
We were all like, yeah. She's got a drink. And then you said it was in a soda bottle, and we were like, ooh.
Think of 5 numbers between 1 and 50. 6 numbers between 1 and 50. What's a lot of numbers now?
6. I'm not going to remember. So when you say them back, I'm like, yeah, right. That's right.
I don't know about unexplained, but I've had loads of really weird coincidences. So, one time we were in New York, so we were went out to New York on holiday. I hired a limo, drive around the limo, drive to JFK in this limo.
Wow. We
get out this limo, and there's this girl taking pictures. Thinking obviously it's a limo, so they thought we were famous. We weren't really famous, just hired a limo. But get out, this girl's taking pictures, and she puts the camera down. It was one of my wife's best friends, who was in New York at the same time, didn't realize it, and then thought we were someone famous coming up. It was like, oh, it's you. It was like, oh, it's you. I've had lots of those kind of things. Very weird.
Like New York's a big city.
Yeah, it's quite big. And then like, why would they be taking pictures of you coming out of it's like,
yeah,
famous, very strange. Yeah.
Small world.
You traveled a big world, and then you met your friends and had some small talk. Hey!
What are you doing here? Oh, I'm in New York. Oh, so we. Hey, it's great.
I knew you were meant for this show. That's a perfect story. Who could explain? Join us next week as we try to explain why people who know each other run into each other in unexplained places, like the airport.
In the middle of nowhere. Who are these people?
Leon, do you want to pull a question out of your little pink handbag?
It's a big one.
Oh wow.
Okay, here you go. If you broke into Buckingham Palace, what would you do? So a bit like in America. But what would you do if you broke into Buckingham Palace? So imagine you get into the palace and there's no police around for some reason. What would you do?
I just had like lots of questions. Like, is anybody there? Like, if there are, am I like immediately in the right outfit? Can I fit in? Like, if I can fit in, like,
all right, you're thinking of
kind of stuff.
I was thinking more of a riot thing, but you're thinking of like you just wandered in for a party and you just thought,
am I dressed appropriately?
These are lovely.
I don't want to embarrass myself.
Oh, maybe I'm doing a show in the backyard. Hello, everyone.
Well, then you'd have to break in. Then you'd be invited.
We call it a backyard. Did I just do something wrong?
They got those over there, I'm sure. I've never been, but maybe.
That'd be that would be.
You call it the gardens.
The gardens with the statues, all the people coming out of the boys, the little fountains.
How would you do any jokes at all? Remember when you struggled with the bill? No, none of that. Remember when you got your first horse and your first crown? And,
I went for the rug instead.
Ever so tight.
I didn't want the horse.
You know for a fact, if in Buckingham Palace somewhere is a magic carpet and a flying horse. I'm just going to leave that there. You know in that house there is.
Somewhere.
Don't show anybody else this, but
my answer is try and break back out.
If it's a case of you're not going to get caught.
Shit, wrong place. My bad.
Oh, I thought this was my party. My bad.
Yeah. Hey, where's Jim at? This is supposed to be a surprise. I came a little bit late.
Is this the Airbnb? Is this the Airbnb?
Yeah. I looked at how much I paid. I'm like, it's really expensive. This has got to be the place. Who pays
$400 a night?
Airbnb? Who does that?
Find someone and say, like, is the hot water on? Because I really need a bath. I mean, is the control panel on?
Who touched the thermostat? I wanted it at 72. It is clearly 73 in here.
Knocking on the Queen's doors. Did you use all the water, Liz? Come on, Liz. Have you got any bath bombs?
If there was no way I was going to get caught, I would want to know where all the jewels are. I don't wear jewelry because I don't trust myself not to lose jewelry. But 7 to 8 minutes by the time I was in that house, I would have a crown. I would have tiaras, like 7 tiaras balanced on me, like my arms covered in diamonds. Like I think the young guys call it dripping. I'd be dripping in ice.
See, I'm looking for a velvet jacket and Meghan Markle's phone number. That's all I really want. I want to drink myself in velvet and act like I got a chance with Meghan Markle.
I'm imagining a lot of the royal family would help set you up, Alex.
Yeah, I'll bring her back. She don't want that.
I'll be your wingman.
If you could. Sort of.
Yeah. Let me up. I can make it happen.
You have the ginger one
been promoted to Captain Cheekbones. You go over there and you get her.
Oh, that's a true story, Alex and Brooke. There was quite a famous gentleman, Michael Fagan. He actually broke in to Buckingham Palace and got into the Queen's bedroom while she was sleeping.
Oh, wow.
And literally when she woke up and she's like, who are you? And he was like, have you got a cigarette and a cup of tea?
Damn.
Wow.
Everybody got fired that next day. Everybody. It's like, I work for the post office. I'm just here to deliver the mail. You're fired. You're done.
I do know one of the guards in or one of ex-guard in Buckingham Palace, and he did say it was quite a boring job. You know, one of the ones with the big hats.
Like and oh my god, I would just want to go and be like, hi, how you doing? Like, they just have to stand there right real still.
Yeah, be like rude. Jeez, I said hi.
I just be like, hi, and like get real close.
The cash money taking over.
I'd like to say as well, when when there was quite a vote coming up. Well, I can't. Trish, tell me what it was. But recently there was a really important vote, and I babysat Trish all night waiting for the votes to come in. And we used the Facebook Messenger effects. We both had like tiara crowns dipping on us, just doing anything like on behalf of like a non-American person. Like you had to babysit the American person through that night. Like everyone had to try and calm the nerves of an American person. It's not too bad. He might not get in.
Well, America, we can't count anymore. We don't know how to count. Our public school, we don't know how to do math. It goes deep. It goes deep.
Yeah, it goes real deep.
I don't understand why the whole election thing. Why would you? Only Trump could do this and say, we've had the worst election ever, but he's the one in charge of it. He's going, this is the worst thing anyone's ever done. And I did it. This is my election. Everybody else managed great elections, but I can't even manage to keep one election up.
It's the Democrats. Ask my dad. It's the Democrats. They knew. They did this.
They kept
if the Democrats win the election, why wouldn't they just win all the positions?
He said COVID would be done after the election, and I don't understand. Like,
yeah.
He had the magic cure.
I have it in my house, so...
He's going to leave with the magic cure in his pocket. He's like, I've got the magic cure. You're not having it now. I'm cured. I'm fine. I'm off.
I put it somewhere.
Just me and
okay, moving on to my next question. Right. Very, very small question, but it's a question one. Right. Could you live in the woods?
Oh, yeah. I love a cabin in the woods.
I like the woods.
I'd love
Is there a lake nearby?
Alex, I'd love to see you living in the woods.
Oh, I've done it. In me exists a whole different person able to withstand living in the woods. Like right now, nothing about me, how I will answer this question will make it seem like that was an enjoyable experience for me, but I did it and it was a good time. I hiked the Appalachian Trail. This was like 6 years ago now, or it'll be 6 years in a few months. And you spend your whole life in the woods and you just become a different person. You're like, there's no vanity. You stink. You don't care. You grow a beard. You like your legs get really big and the rest of your body gets really small and you just hike all day and that's it. And yeah, I guess I would just as practice since the whole world's falling apart, be like, you might as well get another round in, you know, be like, this is how it's going to be. I might as well get good at this again. So, you know, if I had to, you know, I could eat ramen again.
How long
were you prepping?
How long were you out there?
Prepping to be a prepper?
6 months. Was that
6 months? I said, were you prepping to be a prepper?
Yeah, basically. And I got to do it in 2015 before so much.
Or do you just love Dolly Parton that much? You heard she was writing a new album and you were like, I'm finding her.
Actually, I'm looking for Jolene because she's the fire one. She's gonna take her man. So I'm like, Jolene must got something crazy that no one's ever seen. That's what I really want. That's the unicorn I'm looking for. That's the flying horse and the magic carpet. Jolene. Woo!
What about Annie? Like, is she okay?
Oh, she got a gun, so I don't really fuck with her.
And he got a gun. Yeah, that's a warning. That's a warning song. That's get ready song. That is.
She's got a gun and she's got sunglasses. That's an Annie Oakley joke. Sorry. Oakley's. All right. Okay. I'm gonna go. Somebody else talk.
Sunglasses because she's hungover. Hungover and armed is not a good thing. You don't want to annoy somebody who's hungover and armed.
No. Brooke, could you live in the woods?
Living in the woods would be really good for me. I think I get annoyed when there's people outside my window making noise. So, like, if it is something to be like a cute bear, you know, like
that wouldn't annoy you.
Well, it would probably be like, oh, hi, you know, and then I'd go about my crafts in my front room. You know, I'd probably talk to the little fairies. I bet there would be fairies out in the forest. I think I would do well. I'd do fine.
I thought, see, I was assuming like woods, there's gonna be nothing there, but you've got front rooms, fairies helping you out, and all kinds. Bears that are quite polite. You say, look, you're being a bit too noisy, bear. Do you mind? You know, I don't want to. I know I'm a visitor, but please, come on.
Yeah, I have a cabin. I wasn't just barebacking it.
Oh yeah. Fully service cabin.
Sometimes
I have Wi-Fi in my cabin.
Got Wi-Fi.
Or was that was a short note? It didn't say anything about not having that.
Whatever you want.
If you have a cabin, I feel like you don't really have to clean. No one's gonna come in your cabin and be like, "Hey, yo, you got ants." I'm like, no, the ants have a cabin.
Yeah, they live here too.
I see an ant now, I get mad.
You be chatting to ants. You say, ants, is this your food? Is this your food, ants? No, it's not. This is not your food.
If I leave it on the floor, it is.
I left it out for you. You gotta pick it up. That's the exchange.
Garbage collection's Tuesday, so if you can get some food before Tuesday, fine.
You gotta fight the raccoons for this. You don't want to do that. All right, who's got next?
What about you? Could you be Leon of the Woods?
Yeah, so I've done like camping in the desert and stuff. So I quite like it. It's quite good, isn't it? It's nice and fun. See the stars and stuff. Yeah, I quite like it. Yeah, I think I could probably do it. Woods is all right. Yeah, I could probably live in the woods. I don't need much. I can sleep anyway, to be honest. So woods, cabins. I wouldn't need a cabin or anything. I'd just be fine.
It's 30
your clothes. Sorry. I guess you wouldn't need a lot of clothes.
I think I would much prefer to live in the woods than to live in the middle of like a really built-up city. I don't think I could cope with it. Big city, but I could definitely adapt. But it has to have Wi-Fi. I can't not admit I'm like peace, quiet, 4G.
The Whole Foods like a half an hour away.
Yeah, delivery
production team. Around there.
But considering I am quite outdoorsy and I love the countryside and I would absolutely adore the woods, if I feel a bug crawling on me, I absolutely out and shriek and I make myself really angry because I'm meant to be a little bit like cooler than that, but I'd be like da-da-da-da, ah! And it's like one tiny little bug on my
I feel personally attacked by this. Are you trying to describe me? Are you making fun of me on the low? Because that sounds very familiar.
No!
When I was hiking, I had a full mesh bodysuit just to be between me and the other bug. And I had to take it off and you get sweaty. And I'd be like, all right, I'm going to send it back home. And it was like, no, just in case. Keep it with you. You'll never know when you might need it.
Ranger asked a question.
I just want to interrupt procedure.
He wants to know if my cabin is sponsored by Disney and there will not be any child ring going through my cabin. There will be no underground, where the rich people get to go. No. There will be 7 dwarfs who will be helping me with things.
Damn. They like to be called little people.
Doing all of my laundry, while I'm doing my Wi-Fi show. But definitely not Walt Disney. It'll just have the magical creatures that escapes.
I like that. See, you would have been good at Snow White. Snow White goes in and she does all the cooking and cleaning and stuff. You'd be there for 2 days and you'd be going, listen, boys, this is not going to work.
We got to work together.
You're in a mine all day. You're in a mine. You get messy. I'm not doing it. That's it.
I pulled up a PowerPoint presentation because we got Wi-Fi in this bitch and synergy.
One.
Synergy.
I can just, she'll be there in front of the camera going, hello, tonight on Backline. Dopey, will you do my laundry quieter? Hello, back to back. Fuck, I told you, do the saucepans. Shh.
Bashful is like painting my toenails.
You put rocks in the dryer?
You're on screen all day. You need a screen break.
You'd be hiring them out as dwarf strippers and stuff, wouldn't you? I got 7 dwarf strippers. Pick one you like.
Like that, I would. You have to take advantage of that kind of body. And I don't discriminate the fact that they're short.
Low center of gravity.
They work out in that mine every day.
That's not nothing.
One of them is a medical professional. Bashful, not after I've trained him. He won't be bashful after I've trained him. Get that out of your system.
Oh, God.
A real people pleaser, those dwarfs. I mean, little ones. I mean,
Yo, free the dwarves, man. Nah, man.
I like it. I like it.
Always comes back to the R. Kelly opera. Alex, back to your question jar, please.
ooh, what's in the jar?
I got it out the closet. Oh, God. Let's see here. Oh, we've done that one. Yeah, stop putting these back in here. Oh, no.
I know, it's just such a simple thing to take credit out and not put it back in. And yet, I forget every time.
That's what the problem
What's
with
your favorite board game?
Back to the mind.
Favorite board game.
Here we go. Here we go. Oh, gone.
I'd have to say Cluedo, which
What?
we call it Cluedo, don't you? You call it Clue.
Oh,
We
yeah.
call it Cluedo.
You
Yeah.
call it Cluedo?
That's weird difference, isn't it? Why
Is
is
there
it?
Play-Doh involved?
Cluedo.
You have to like make the little shapes out of dough that gets hard if you leave it out overnight.
So you have to say. So it would be like it's a square board, but it's like a house, and then you have to work out who the murderer was, and you have to say like it was Captain Peacock in the billiard room with the lead bar, the lead pipe, sorry. And yeah, that for me, I love murder mysteries, and the idea of being able to play one. It's just I love murder mysteries.
It's a weird concept.
But when I was younger, I did actually have a board game called Revenge of the Hedgehog. And it was like one of those board games that because nobody else I've ever met ever had this board game. I don't know whether there was like one made and I managed to get it. And it was about hedgehogs chasing cars around a road to kill the cars. God bless the 80s.
Okay. Yeah, you could sell anything in the 80s.
I had right the game of life, right? But at the time I thought it was fantastic and great. So you go around the board and then you get like you drive around, you get a job, and then you get kids and stuff. But I'm sure in the game, every time you got a kid, you got more money, which is the opposite of real life. In real life, every time you get a kid, you have less money. So now that I'm older, I think the whole game was a lie. And then it was like you go to college, you've got a university degree, and now you're going to earn extra money. And it's not true. You lose money going to university. You lose money when you get kids. That's what the game of life should be. One of your kids wants to go to college, you lose 40 grand or something.
See, no, you adopt these kids. Not your actual kids. That's how you get more money. You get more money from the state.
Your kid likes dance. 500 quid for dance outfits, dance lessons for the next 6 weeks. Then she quits.
You can put the radio on. Move the couch. Dance school, we play.
It's an investment, right? They're gonna turn tricks later and send money home to dad.
Yeah, that's what the game said. Don't know what that's.
That's awful. She didn't go to college, but she coordinated. So hey.
Oh yeah, I can dance good.
She spent 40 grand going to college. She quit in the
every
third
day
year.
for like 10 some years. My mom just wanted me to find the rich man. She's like, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Just take one. Just need one.
Not right.
Board games.
Just a message in from Claire, just saying first time she's tuned into the show and she's loving it. Well, I hope we just see you back every week, 10 p.m. Yeah, love that. Brooke and Alex, your board games. So for me, it was Cluedo. We got Game of Life. Game of Life that way. Alex, what about yourself?
I always loved Sorry. Just it was ironic because you were never really sorry.
Yeah.
It's just like I have to win, and it means I'm gonna have to move through you to do it. So simple game. Get the board, get the piece around the board. Like there wasn't a lot of pieces you had to put in little bags afterwards. It was straight up just like 4 sets of pieces and cards, a stack of cards. That's it. You could like make up if you lost bits, you could make it up yourself and be like, this post-it is now this guy. Deal with it.
Like I used to the other thing, like Trivial Pursuit, they have that title Trivial Pursuit, but that always caused an argument. It was always one question where there was somebody believed it was completely wrong. So here's my question. There's a 4-1. I once said, right, the question was like, in what TV series did it say this message will self-destruct in 30 seconds? And I said, what I
Mission
said,
Impossible.
Inspector Gadget, because Inspector Gadget copied it after Mission Impossible, and the answer was Mission Impossible. And I was like, so it says no. See that kind of thing. They don't accommodate in the game. You're like, but and you're like, no. The board, it says Mission Impossible, but it said they copied. Oh,
said Roseanne.
You
the reboot self-destructs after a few episodes.
Your character is 30 minutes.
I really like Scrabble. A lot. When you get like 7 letters and you have to make a word and then you have to connect to the other words. I like it.
Yeah. That was a good game.
That causes arguments as well, though.
True. Like, is that even a word?
I'm gonna check the dictionary. Check the dictionary. Don't you trust me? You don't trust this. Like, it becomes a trust issue, doesn't it? You say the cheat again.
I always play that game wrong. I'm always trying to like somehow make up a full 7-letter word out of the letters that I have, and I'll just be working to see if I get the consonant that I need to make that happen instead of just working with what's on the board. I always lose that.
Yeah. You always get nearly a word and you're missing one letter and you think, oh, I'll just wait for that one letter.
Yeah, it's not a good way to play.
Like half the word just sitting there the whole time. It would have been a good one because you had the Q and the U.
Yep, everything.
Hedgehog's Revenge.
Oh, Hedgehog's Revenge. Turns out loads of copies on eBay, mostly under a tenner. Wow, my childhood is under a tenner.
Yeah, that's all it says. I got questions though. How do they plan to kill the car? Were they going to just stuff themselves in the tailpipe or the gas tank? The car doesn't work anymore.
You sort of worked your way around, and it really was about hedgehogs, but it was terrorizing the cars, like, and there were these. And genuinely, like, I think you'd pull it over, and then it would show a flat hedgehog, and you're like, "Oh, you died."
like, damn, dude, you got
Mousetrap. There was a game called Mousetrap, and it had like all these pieces together, and then it had like a thing, and then it was like a obstacle thing, but
like a Rube Goldberg machine.
Yeah. But it never worked. It used to go. You get to the end, but the thing was, you build the whole machine. But that's for the very last thing. That's the whole rest of the game ignores. You spent 20 minutes building the bloody thing, and then you spend the rest of the game ignoring the thing you've built. The whole game should be that bit, and then you get to that one bit that you wait the whole game for.
Yeah,
you do whatever the first bit, and it sticks at some point, and you're like, it's stuck. The whole game, you built it.
See, that's life. That's life. That's the real.
That's life.
And the mouse is looking at you.
Work so hard, and then when it's time for the reward, you don't get your stimulus check. You get a crazy, terrible president. You don't get into Buckingham's palace. They pull you away.
You get nothing. The 7 dwarfs won't do tricks for you anymore. It's all terrible.
Still learn that early.
You learn that early.
Be prepared for the important. It's
a good life lesson, actually.
My new favorite game is Big Small Talk. There's no board game better than this, and you'll never be bored playing it. Hey, I want brand. Leon, please present your handbag of questions.
Woo!
Stick my hand in the pink bag.
The den of unknowables.
Here we go then. Again, this one's comes prompted from America. What costume would you wear if you were a terrorist?
What?
Most terrorists, so in Britain, terrorists tend to just like dress down a bit because they want to be undercover. But in America, they can wear all kinds of fancy outfits. So I was thinking, you could wear anything. So what would you wear? Seems quite good.
I would be the Hamburglar from McDonald's.
just to stick it to McDonald's.
Yeah, like, you never should have trusted him. You let him go. Whatever happened, and then you commit your said act of terrorist, but all they find you with is sandwiches, and they're just like, "What was all this for? Why? Why?"
We knew he was bad.
I've always had the fantasy that the worst version of myself would go up to somebody who's eating lunch and just take their sandwich out of their hands and just bite it. I think at my top 5, the thing I imagine myself doing. People like imagine themselves like killing people and shit. Like, no, I just want to walk up to somebody eating and just.
Yeah. I like that. It's bold. You have to have a lot of guts and not really.
I know. You got to fight after that. Like,
and then you could blame McDonald's. You could blame McDonald's. You say, my whole life, this is what I was building up to this. I was watching adverts. I was brainwashed.
Diverting.
Nothing to do with me. Not my fault.
Yeah.
McDonald's told me to do it.
It's in my name. It's my lineage. It's my heritage.
Wow.
Predestined.
My name is Steve Hamburglar. I mean, what? What did you expect?
What do you want from me?
Go vegan and maybe I won't fuck with you. You gotta find a tofu burglar. He's around here somewhere.
Really
that'll never happen.
Like if I pulled my hair like really, really tight and had like a good amount of caffeine, I could be a good Karen. And I could terrorize any place. I'd find something. I'd find the littlest thing and I'd make a big deal. A real big deal. Yeah. And I'd speak to the manager and I'd have him call corporate.
This coupon is expired, but I was in the Caymans when you sent it to me. So I couldn't use it.
Fix this.
I'll never come back here.
See, I'd go. See, I like the guy that dressed like a Viking, and was he Viking, wasn't he? Because it's the kind of thing that you'd if you were trying to explain that to somebody, if it wasn't on film kind of ruins it. But if it wasn't on film and someone said, "Yeah, a Viking broke into Capitol Hill and started smashing things up," you just go, "Yeah, that didn't happen, did it? That's
too crazy."
Yeah, right, mate.
Yeah, you're imagining that, didn't you? That
like the Tiger King. Like, come on, no one would believe that.
This has happened, and then this one happened, and then you, and then you filmed sitting there and shot yourself in the head. Yeah, so I'd wear something that was unbelievable, like just like I don't know what that would be. Dress as Abraham Lincoln or something like that, and he'd be like, Abraham Lincoln came in and smashed everything up and then left. And they're like, Abraham Lincoln, are you sure? They went, yeah, that would just look like him.
Should have seen
it was him.
Hat, like
the hat, the beard. There you go. And people would be looking, going, that's Abraham Lincoln over there, and then you'd be killing people, and you'd be going, wow, that's weird. and then yeah, people would be ridiculous.
There's one of two ways I'd go. I'd either wear like my construction stuff I wear for work, so like the big orange trousers and like the high-vis jacket. Wearing that much high-vis makes you invisible. Genuinely, wearing that much high-vis clothing, you walk right to a crowd no one sees you. Or I would wear a padded bra and a very low-cut top, and then not a single man would be able to say what my face looks like.
They don't know what's in your hands.
Who was it? It was a woman. What else? That's all I know. That's all I know.
Like a white guy.
Yeah, like fake erectals on the top just to seal the deal, because then they'd be like, what color hair did she have? I know she had like, was she tall? I don't know.
All I know, it was a woman, but it was cold. I get.
Yeah, it was cold. And that is it.
It was cold. Yeah.
McDonald's told me to do it.
I don't know what happened after because I was in the bathroom for about 20 minutes. No, I don't really see what happened.
You're like, listen. I'll definitely look at a lineup. You bring me loads of pictures, and I will look at them for hours. Don't you worry. I'm committed.
It was that firm.
Just tell the wife that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's close. That's close. Now that is close. Go back on.
Nice. There you go.
Being a larger guy, I'd wear a full head Trump mask. But yeah, I suppose. I mean, the thing is, like, there's so many of those Trump masks being worn as well. I mean, I find it quite. Well, what we have over here, whenever we have any sort of kind of march or protest march, then you get that turn up with the balaclavas or the black masks, like, you know, and they just kick off. Like, they don't even know what march it is. They just smash windows. Don't even. It could be like a march so that every person that likes knitting gets free knitting needles and free wool, and then you get these guys in like black masks and balaclavas just smashing up shops, and you're like, I don't think you're here for the right reasons.
What do you mean? My parents got divorced.
McDonald's made me
all
do
of it out.
In fact, there's a book. I know for a fact I wrote the question about which board would you prefer as well. I think we must have all been sat there after Christmas going, what questions? Okay, that. Okay. This one's a dig deep question.
Okay.
What was the best thing about 2020? There had to be something.
It had to be.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
I think mine is easy. Mine is easy. Mine was starting the WSI Plus with Brooke and Trish and creating a safe space for comedians, female comedians, and non-binaries to come together and discuss the industry and comedy and just have somewhere to hang. So that was of all the dickhead things I did last year. That was like a proper grown-up thing.
Leveled itself out. Give something to the people.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you can either get bitter or you could get better. And 2020 showed us like you could either like jump on board and have a good time or like sit and get really sad. And I took time for both. But then I did a lot of comedy online, right? I have 3 weekly shows and then I'm doing tons of other ones. I met so many people from all around the world that I never would have. I mean, maybe I would have gotten to meet them eventually, but I got to meet them this year. And I feel like my life is so much better. I have like a lot of support in my life that I didn't really get in the comedy community here. So a lot of thanks to Lucy, actually.
Big one.
How about that?
A lot of love in the room. Stop it, gushing buggers.
I love you.
Love you too, babe.
Get a room.
Leon,
We will.
what's your best thing of 2020?
Me?
When we can fucking travel. Go on, Leon. What was your best thing about 2020?
I did not quite in the same level, but yeah, I did quite a bit of online stuff and doing online, meeting different kind of people from all around the world and stuff. That was quite good. I mean, would I have done it otherwise? Probably not. There were just so many online stuff that you just like. At the first, I was thought, oh, sure, I won't bother. And then it went on forever. And I thought, I probably better had if I ever want to tell a joke to anybody outside my own house again. Yeah. So there's that, yeah. And it just makes, and yeah, and you just different thing, and you think about comedy differently and stuff, and yeah. And we'll make you appreciate it when you actually get back and actually get in front of a real audience and die there instead of dying online.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's probably it.
I made
What
all
about
of
you,
my
Alex?
rent dollars
Apart
worth
from,
it.
you know, being forced to be inside and your pub closing down, there had to be something good.
I made all my rent dollars worth it. Every time I paid rent, I got all my money's worth this time around. I never felt like, I was never even there. What am I paying for?
That's
This is what place for my plants to get sunlight.
I did do that thing where you go to different parts of your house that you never usually go to, just because you're like, well, I'm stuck in. I'm going to go. I don't come to this corner of this house very much. I don't go to this room much. I'm going to go to this room for a bit. Just like a storage room, and you're like, oh, I go, look, yeah.
I don't have that.
Come here much. Go there.
You got extra rooms, Leon? You balling like that?
Not anymore. When I was in Malaysia, we had a storage room.
Yeah.
I go in there. Well, storage room. I don't come in here. Why don't I come in the storage room?
Just go do yoga in here. Fuck it. Live my life.
I love yoga.
I call people on the phone. There you go. I hadn't called people in years. I called people on the phone. Like, I actually reached out and made a connection. I went down my contact list and be like, I haven't spoken to this person. And then I hit the button and called them and talked to them on the phone.
What'd you say? What you doing?
Wow.
Like, what you been up to? Nothing.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
It's really fun to touch base with people after a couple of years, because then you see how much you've grown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To flex on them. Be like, remember when I didn't have a beard? Take that.
Yeah. Coming in nice. We're the mask though, so no one knows.
Yeah, right. Though it sticks out the bottom, so like, does he have a mouth in there, or is it all just hair? Who knows?
Big bush problems.
There's a Zoom show.
Or that first time you sneeze in your mask, it's like, you know, that's what you're supposed to do, but like, it happens, you're just like, fuck, why did I take it off? I'm like, well, that's kind of the point. Is that you don't.
Ray, who has said the online explosion of online comedy shows has been the best. I wouldn't have got to meet any of you if it hadn't been for that. I mean, I just looked through my phone to see when it was, and Alex, you and I first met in April the 3rd, which, you know, is not that far away from it being a year.
Yeah.
like, wow. It's like, hey, Alex, do you fancy doing an online show? Yeah, got nothing else to do. This should fill a few weeks.
Yeah, some sort of comedy outlet.
Is it worth it? We're not going to be locked down for long.
I mean,
I sent a whole message to Lucy being like, I'm going to be really busy. I don't know if I can really help produce this. I got other shows that I'm doing. They're coming back, you know. People are tugging at me for all sides. They're trying to get whatever they can get from me. No, not anymore.
I remember messaging me and saying, I just don't know if I can be that involved. And I was like, I don't believe in the show.
I got so much going on.
I was like, I hear what you're saying, but no.
I was like, can you write a couple questions?
I think I remember you venting to me about that. That's the Alex.
Can you show up on time? I'm so busy. I can't.
He came through though, right? He came through. It all worked out.
I gotta play Star Wars. These lasers are gonna shoot themselves. I mean, come on.
I'm like, if you let them go, they'll come back. Don't worry, it'll be fine.
I gotta save the galaxy.
The force is strong with you.
I made it happen this year. That's my thing for 2020. Star Wars got played.
It is now coming up 5 to 11 our time. It's God knows what bloody time it is in your world.
3 in the morning.
I've given up trying to work out time zones. They're just like, I can't work them out. I got this web page up on my phone where I just type it in and just like move this little glider along. But Brooke Makes Fun is Brooke's handle on Facebook and Twitter and Insta. I'm not going to say the fan one.
Gmail.
Bucket outside. What's up?
This is where we get to the big pulse question of the night that everybody globally is waiting to hear your answer. I'm going to give you no more information than the question. No questions back. You just got to show your workings out and look. Give us, what would you choose? A magic carpet or a flying horse?
It's all on you.
I have an answer. Can I go?
Yo, yeah.
Oh, is it just for me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought about this because, okay, like a flying horse would be cool, right? Like you could ride it, but you don't know for sure if it's a unicorn. It could just be like a regular horse flying around. Magic carpet, you know it's magical, and you get to lay down. I take magic carpet.
So you think like a regular flying horse? You look at that and go, "That is just like a regular horse."
It's a regular flying. If I want a flying horse, I need it to be magical. I need it to have a horn. I want a multicolored mane. I want it to glitter. Like I don't want like a pony. Like riding you up in the air. Like come on.
You're like Shania Twain.
Get a regular horse and make it fly. What if that horse is afraid of heights? Do I want to be on top of a horse who's freaking the fuck out at 3,000 feet? No way.
I mean, I'd ride it for a little bit and try to calm it down, but
you're braver than I.
You're like you're like Shania Twain. Where that don't impress me much. The horse flying.
That's all you got.
Flying horse. Seen it. Been there.
Step your flying horse.
Guys,
it's flying.
It just flies. It goes.
Does it have PTSD from its last owner? Like, I don't
what's Kelly Blue book on that?
Complex trauma. Like, you just don't become a flying horse. Like,
I need a story.
You know, like.
You think the horse is cursed? This horse is cursed. This horse kicked away.
Carpet I can lay on the ground. It's cool. You know, like.
I figured you'd be like, "What's the pattern?"
Get walked on.
Like, what am I looking at? Is it gonna fit in with my general aesthetic? Is it light blue, pink, something like that I can fuck with?
Will it look good in my room? I don't know.
It's a rusted brick color.
Magic, it will turn whatever color I want it to.
Yeah, right. Can I switch it up for my mood?
Oh look, flying now. I guess
like no, it just flies.
It's just
magic.
You're like a car showroom. So what other options has he got? Just a flying horse? You don't have any extras? It doesn't have unicorn attachments? Nothing. Just one basic thing. That's it.
That's what comes standard. I'm sorry.
Just standard. Nothing. Come on.
Like magic carpet. Magic in what way? Will it make my student loans disappear? That's what I need.
I love it.
I'll take two of that.
Make my student loans disappear. I just fly.
Everything you put on the carpet disappears.
That's great. So I sold all my furniture. I need to put something in the living room. So something.
Wow.
Why would a horse have Dumbo's ears? Oh my god.
That'd be a little awkward. I would pick the carpet.
It's gonna have like these Dumbo complexity, like I need to be small now, I'm really big. Like
you'd say to him, you go, why did you put the ears there? Why are the wings, the thing that flying of ears? It'll be such an unstable flight. The head will have to go like that.
I know.
It's ridiculous. Worst place to put them.
I would almost have to ride on the face.
Every chance I get.
For physics, for the sake of physics, you know, like.
Is this a horse with a pilot license?
To make it back heavy.
What are we doing?
Yeah. The guys, some people like riding on the face. You go, that's not me. It's not me.
I mean, if I have
personal choice. It's a personal choice. It's just a personal choice.
with ears like that, I guess.
We've never had someone turn the horse down because it was too big.
We got a log face no more.
Watch the teeth.
Wilbur.
Right. Children.
Awful. That's awful.
Children.
Covering people's eyes up as they fly past. Don't look at that, children. Don't look. Don't look. It's a flying horse. I know, but don't look at the other bit. Don't look at the other bit.
But it's got
Put the
some.
hay on the nightstand. It's over.
Would you like to see the
It's a bird with a plane.
bag?
It's a comedian having a lovely time. Right. That is it for another week of Big World Small Talk. Brooke, you've been an absolute amazing, and I knew you were going to be. Thank you so much for stepping at the last minute because we had a cancellation. Thank you so much. Thank you very much to Leon. As always, thank you very much for Alex. It's the fact that 3 different time zones can manage to all get together in the same room. I think we deserve a medal for this. Next week we have got Mustafa Siad, who is from Northern Ireland. I performed with at Comedy Pops, and he is absolutely fabulous. He's absolutely brilliant. I think he's a big part of Displaced Comedians and family as well. So just going to say thank you very much to everybody. Please set your alarms for this time next week. But not this time next week. This time 23 hours, 10 p.m. UK. Find us on Joke Pit. You can find us on Twitter. We are at Big World Comedy. If you've got any questions to put inside the comedy jar, and please share this video and tell your friends. We're not a dirty little secret. So thank you very much for all of Big World. Love you guys.